guys, and welcome back to Coffee with My Sunshine. Thanks so much for coming back for another DIY. And if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping in. I do a ton of DIY projects, thrift store hauls, furniture flips, trash to treasure, which I'll tell you more about here shortly. So today's DIYs are going to be Pottery Barn winter inspired. And I will show you how I made these shortly. But first I wanted to invite you all to my challenge. It's an open invite to all you YouTube creators. And I only have 5 simple rules that you need to follow for this challenge. And each month I'm going to have a different co-host. This month for October, my co-host is April from the channel April Adair Shares. And I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please correct me, April. And number 1 is use items that you would normally throw in the trash or recycle bin, or something somebody else would have thrown away, and turn them into something functional or a beautiful home decor piece. Number 2 is to mention our names and our channels in your video, which is my name, Casey, from Coffee with My Sunshine, and my co-host, April, from April Adair Shares. Number 3, list our channels and playlist in your description box, and don't forget to mention the playlist in your video as well. Number 4, put the challenge name somewhere in your title. It doesn't matter where, just somewhere in your title. It doesn't have to be in the beginning. And upload your videos to the playlist on Sunday, October 27th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And number 5, have fun with your projects. Now let's get into today's DIYs. So for today's DIY, I told you it was going to be a trash to treasure and a dollar store type project. For this sign, it is going to be a trash to treasure. These are wood pieces that my parents had used in a home project that they're working on, and they're just scrap pieces. So I decided to use this longer piece for a sign, and the sign was inspired by one that I saw at Pottery Barn. And I'm just going to, since I can't put a frame on this, I'm just going to kind of use the edges that are already there to make a faux frame. So right now I'm just using my square to measure out where I want to put the letters and where I want the frame to be. So I'm going to tape off where I want the frame, because like I said, I'm just going to paint or stain it on, or you could paint it. So I'm going to tape that off because I'm going to be painting the rest white. And to begin with, I'm just using this sponge around where the tape edges are. That way it's less likely that the paint seeps under the paint, or I'm sorry, under the tape. And then after sponging it, I'm just going to take a paintbrush and paint right over the rest of it. And I did a mixture of chalk paint and acrylic paint. And the only reason I did that is because I'm running low on both. And then I'm going to remove the tape, and this is what it looks like without staining the border yet. You could leave it this natural color, but I'm going to go a bit darker. And here normally I would just use the sticker letters from the Dollar Tree or Michael's or whatever, but my husband was so sweet, I asked him to print out these letters for me. And like I said, Dollar Tree letters would work great for this project. So I just laid out the letters where I wanted them to be, kind of center, because I'm trying to keep in mind the red border that I'm also going to be putting around. That's what I'm measuring for right now, and making sure my letters are center before I stick them down. And it doesn't matter what color these letters are, because I'm just going to be painting over them and then removing them. So more measuring, which I don't normally do. Usually I eyeball things. And then I'm going to tape off where I don't want the red paint, because I still want a white border around the red paint. And I'm erasing any of the pencil lines that I had, because I don't know about you, I hate when I've drawn lines and then paint over them, and then you see the lines through the paint. So, and then for the red paint, I used, I got my brush kind of wet because I wanted it to have more of the streaky look like it did in the Pottery Barn sign. And then I just kept dipping my brush in the water and the red paint and dabbing off the excess. And then before the paint is fully dry, I just removed the letters so that the letters would be white. And you could also paint these on if you're good at freehanding. So then I taped off the edges so that the stain wouldn't get onto the white paint. You could also do this freehand. And then I like the way it looked, but in the Pottery Barn sign, it's a little bit distressed. So I just went around the edges just a little bit, nothing crazy. And I'll show you what that looks like at the end. And for the next project, I saw a winter pine tree type thing, or Christmas tree. It wasn't really decorated for Christmas, so I'm going to call it a winter tree. I saw that on the Pottery Barn website and wanted to recreate it with Dollar Tree items. So I'm just using one of those Dollar Tree Christmas trees that they have that are really sparse. They're kind of like a Charlie Brown tree. And I wanted to flock it to make it look like the Pottery Barn tree. And I didn't get the flocking spray or anything, so I'm just going to try and make my own. So for this, I'm using a little bit of adhesive spray. Don't overdo it with this stuff because it is so sticky. And I just sprayed the tree and then used a mixture of cornstarch and sugar. And then sprayed it again and then added a little bit more through my sifter. And then took a little bit of this high gloss white spray paint. And I didn't want to go overboard because I'm going to be adding branches to the tree and then I'm going to flock it again. But so far so good. I think it turned out pretty good. I don't know about you, but whenever I like brush against those flock trees at like Hobby Lobby or Walmart or anything, the stuff falls off, so I'm not really sure if what I made is similar because a little bit falls off as I'm working on it here. But anyway, I'm just using these little branches that I found at the Dollar Tree. They're actual like ties that you would use for garland. And I'm just adding some more branches by wrapping it around the center of the tree just to bulk it up a little bit. And if you wrap it around a couple more times as you get to the top, it kind of matches the same length as the branches as you go up the tree. And I use the same flocking method that I just used for the base of the tree and just went over it a little bit more. And then after it had dried, I sprayed it with a little bit of hairspray, and it seems to be holding the stuff on pretty good. Now I'm just taking an old milk container that I had washed out, and I'm just going to use the bottom as the base. And I'm also using this Dollar Tree rug to give it a sweater look or a faux wood look. And I just kind of measured it out. And I'm going to cut off the edges because I don't want the round or the curved edges on there. And then glue it to all sides of the milk container. And then I'm taking this off-white acrylic paint and just painting over the rug. And it takes a couple coats. I didn't want it fully coated. I wanted to see some of the gray through the paint. This is all preference. And after it's done, I just took the lid to the spray paint that I had, just so it lifted it up so I could glue the tree down into the box. And you can add some stones or whatever as weight into the box so it doesn't, you know, get tippy. And I think it actually looks really good. I have to shape it a little better, but I like how it turned out. And that's probably where you want to add a little bit of weight to the container. And then I'm going to take this cloth that I got from the Dollar Tree just as a little bit of filler in the bottom, just to make it look a little bit winterier. Is that even a word? And I really like how both of them turned out. I will probably add a little bit of glitter to the tree once I find it. I apologize to my husband, he's not a glitter fan, but I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle. And this is the sign all finished. So let me know what you guys think, and if you liked these winter Pottery Barn inspired type projects, and if you would like to see more. Don't forget about our challenge coming up on October 27th. I will send out a reminder probably next week. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!